Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sirs. Good afternoon, ma. It's so great. You are here, sir. Well done. My sincere apologies for coming a bit behind schedule. I'm in the middle of so many things, so I have to switch from one point to the other and take some little characteristics of a chameleon to be able to make a switch from time to time. So great. An honor to be here before you today, and I sincerely want to appreciate my colleagues who have gone ahead of me in person of Mr. Damilola. Please give it up to Mr. Damilola for the great job that he's doing. Mr. Dominic, I appreciate you also. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you. And my Oga at the back end of the camera, I appreciate you. And everyone who have been here before we got here, God bless you all. All right, it's so great an honor again, like I said, to be here because we want to look at something that you already have the topic that talks about how to penetrate the real estate industry in Nigeria. How to penetrate the real estate industry in Nigeria. As an individual, you are asking yourself, how can I penetrate the real estate industry as a salesman in Nigeria? Let me acknowledge some faces I'm seeing here. They are loyal and hold faces that I've been seeing in these trainings. I appreciate you, Pastor. And I'm seeing you, sir. I'm seeing you, sir. I'm seeing you, ma. I'm seeing a guy here also. I'm seeing you for the first time, sir. What's the name, sir? Bright. Okay, Mr. Bright. So great having you. What about you, man? Madam Favor, it's your first time here. You're welcome, man. What about you, sir? Isaiah. Okay, Mr. Isaiah. God bless you. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Adeniyi Adeyemi, popularly known as the #1 Bishop of Real Estate in Africa. This is what I do for a living. I survive on this. You move from one level of glory to another. So probably gradually we're leaving the stage of survival to another better stage. Okay, at least whatever you do that you've been able to hand over to people is more than survival, to the glory of God. So, but what you just need to do is to make sure that you keep setting the pace so that even when you are long gone, people can take over from you. All right, so I'd like you to pay rapt attention the few minutes I have to spend with us here so that you know some little things. Some of them are the things that you probably may know before now, but in a more professional way, you'll be hearing them this day. Okay, now, if you want to penetrate the real estate industry in Nigeria, there are some basic things that I know you would know that you're supposed to do. You want to penetrate. You want people to hear your name. You want people to be able to build that trust to that point where your name can open door as long as real estate is concerned. What are those little things you think you need to do? Let me start with a question. Little, they may seem, but they open doors.
Acquisition of knowledge about the industry.
Thank you, sir. Acquisition of knowledge about the industry. Yes, that's one.
Proper presentation.
Proper presentation. That's two. Thank you, sir. Proper presentation. Personal branding. I like that, sir. That's three. Personal branding. And somebody else wants to try? Improved communication skill. Now, as a matter of truth, most of the things I have here, they are things that, in all honesty, you will see that by the time I get into my slide, they are relatively related to all these things you have said. If I take it from the place of communication, for instance, now, you know that in a number of times you talk about people who are salesmen, who sell. And while they are talking, they will never allow their prospective buyers to talk. They do all the talking and you don't get feedback. Then you turn yourself into a radio that talks, that does not get feedback. At the end of the day, when you are done presenting and you hear people clap for you and say, I'll get back to you, then you know that you have failed. Now, one of my great mentors, Brian Tracy, said something, and I quote, he said, objection is a sign of interest. when you are presenting and people begins to ask you question that looks like they are not interested, it's a good sign of interest. For instance, I remember many years ago when we were still selling Mowe of Father, maybe 2008, about 12 years now, and I marketed someone and he said something. He said, but I heard that around that place, there are lots of ritualists around that area and they behead people. He said, is that where you're telling me to come and buy? Now, because I understand the fact that objection is a sign of interest, then I told him, I said, yes, I heard it used to be so. If it were still so, we would never go and acquire there. So it is not so again. Because it was happening at the point when there was no development on that axis. But not again. Because people now live around that axis. He said, okay. So objection is a sign of interest. If there was no proper communication where you have the encoder and the decoder, the person talking and the person listening, that it means that you just finish talking and they tell you, I'll get back to you. As a matter of fact, oftentimes when we're done presenting, there is a need for us to ask question. Sir, ma, what do you think about these products? What do you have? So from day one, you can actually separate between time wasters and those who are much interested in your projects or your products. You can separate time wasters. So don't spend too much time on an individual who is not ready to buy into your products. How do you know? When you ask questions. Need for proper communication. Somebody else mentioned personal branding. Personal branding is very important. Now there's a need for you to build a brand. Personal branding. Don't think that it ends up in your dressing alone. No. Your name should open doors. Now, if personal branding was not important, God wouldn't have given Jesus Christ a name that will be heard and every knee will bow. So, God knows the importance of branding names. And that was why he put the power in that name of Jesus Christ. Apologies to those who are non-Christians. But please, if you see my name, Bishop of Real Estate. Number one, Bishop. Bishop is not in the mosque, it's in the church. So you can't separate me from Jesus Christ. My apologies. Amen? Amen. Aha, thank you. So for now, please take it as an extension of the church. All right. Even though it's a business class. But the truth is this. The moment you remove G from the word grace, the rest is race. So you can never separate God from what you do. The moment you begin to join those who are doing that to separate God from your transactions, it will end up in futility. So, what am I saying in essence is this. Name of the place of personal branding starts with your name, working on your name. What are you pushing on your page? What are those things that you have on your page, on your handles? Does anybody who knows you on your handle, do they even know what you do in the first place? Many people may have worked somewhere or they are still working in one place or the other. But how many of your friends and family now knows that you do real estate? Yes, you still work in one of the banks. Praise God. You see it on your status or your about your profile that this is where you work and all of that. But have you ever edited to put anything in there saying that you have something to do with real estate? Now, when you talk about the place of the name, now begin to look at the place of your appearance. Because a number of times, men will buy you before your products. Men will buy you before what you sell. So, you can appear to me in a very rough manner, telling me to buy a product of 10 million naira, for instance, being the lowest anyway, and you tell me to buy that, and I'm looking at you, looking like you need help. How can I part with my 10M? No, it's not possible. Even if you use something, because I often say everybody's using something. If you don't use something, somebody will use it for something. So if you use something and you come and meet me in an awkward manner, I'll still tell you that what you used didn't work. True. So pay attention to everything about you. Yes, men are in sizes and life is in phases. You may not have the money to buy the most expensive shoe, but the one you have, take care of it. That one shoe. Your wig may not be the most expensive, it may not be human hair, original one. But at least that other one, you can still manage it. The shirt you wear, it may not be, go and find out about the story of great men who are gone ahead. They didn't start from the top. They start from low up. The only thing that starts from the top is the grave. So there is joy in starting little. So when God takes you to that greater height, you desire. So people can say, I knew when you started. I thank God for one of my very revered, brother in business. Is an Igbo guy. You know, when I was a youth copper and I used to go and sell to him, prospect in his shop. As a copper, I will look neat. My white is still white, not brown. You can see NYC clearly. You know, there are some whites that NYC has turned to CSYN. You know, so you will see clearly, and my boots is clean. The CDS day, the day I go for my whatever, once in a week, that's the day I choose. When I'm coming from the local government, I just stop in his place. And I will sit down from the time I get there till the time he will beg me to go. You always beg me to go. Because sales for me is a do-or-die affair. Because I know that my life is dependent on selling. Because I understand that selling is what we do every day. It's a must. It's what we do every day. It may be directly or indirectly, but you must understand that you have to sell something. Everybody is selling something. Even for you to go and feed and you wanting to buy food items, the person you are buying it from has sold something to you. So it is up to you to now look for who you are selling value to, because somebody is selling it for you even if you are not selling. So, from time to time, I'm always with him. By the time I finished my youth service, when my company retained me to the glory of God, and you know, I knew that God had changed my level. About the time I was finishing my youth service, the company had given me an official car, and by that time, I was not going around just to go and sit and be begging somebody to sell, because by that time, you know, when you go somewhere with an official vehicle, there is a way they look at you. You are not hungry again. Amen. Aha. So by that time, you know, he was now the one calling me, Copper, you didn't even go and see me again. I missed you. You know, you always come once in a week before. Nah, which day you go come now? I said, sir, if you ask me to come now, I'll still come. So by the time we got talking, one thing led to the other, and by his grace, you know, some things happened in the realm of the supernatural, and so he bought into that estate. I was begging him to buy for over a year. All right. At last, when God began to deal with me, he took me from one level to the other, and one day he came to my office, was to supply all of the electrical gadgets for the office, from the laptops to the desktop and the copier and whatever. We're buying brand new. So he met some of my younger staffs, and he said, please, this your employer is somebody to regard, because I knew when he started. I knew when he was a copper. So put your heart to it. He said, I will never forget. He said, he treated his boss's business like ease. I can say that, even though I don't know his boss. Because I always look at it that the survival of the company was in my hand. And if I don't sell, there was no way the company could survive. And the one you are doing it for in the secret has a way of rewarding you in the open. So take the sales of this company's products like your life is dependent on it. And the truth is this, you even have nothing to lose. I tell a number of my banker friends that yes, you are in the banking industry, but the truth is this. Even if you bring $1 billion today, it is still not your money. The good news is this. If you bring $1 billion to this company today, you know you have a percentage commission on it. Or am I lying? You know, in fact, before you pay into the company's account or your customer pays, you have already brought out your calculator. They say a loan percentage, if it's 10%. By the time you are dropping your teller, you are waiting around that with the thing in land now. So it means you have nothing to lose if you put all that you have into it. So personal branding, I will never buy anything from you until I've seen that you've worked on your name. Somebody told me someday, said, Adeniyi Adeyemi, oh, sorry, that name rings a bell. I was working in a store in the US sometimes back, and somebody ran to me and said, sir, I am one of those people following you on social media. It gave me a sense of fulfillment. That yes, there's a need for me to work more on that name. So work on your name. So the same way we would see a Messi come out, a Lionel Messi, and you know that this is a footballer. Just seeing his passport photograph, seeing his head, you know what he stands for. If any advertisement is to come up and you see they showing him first, you know that it has to do with something football. That maybe he's a brand ambassador for a company and they must have paid him. But what comes to mind when you see his face is this is a footballer. When you see even this man that's not playing again, this Nigeria international star, Anakim Olajuwon, you know, who used to be an NBA basketballer. You know, when you see his face, something comes to mind. This is a basketballer. When you see the face of Dangote, something comes to mind. What's that? Cement. Yes, so, but of course you will recognize, even people who are not into construction, they know this is Dangote. And you think production, manufacturing. When you see an Otedola and you see the face, then something comes to mind. Oil and gas. Okay? When they show your face, what comes to people's mind? Until you get to that point, when you begin to work on your brand, where your face can open the vault in CBN, you have not started. When your face is seen, what comes to mind? By the grace of God, a number of times people often ask me, how did you get to a point where you found favor with God and getting to meet my revered father and bishop, my pastor, Bishop Oyedepo? That's how did you get close to him that way? And I'll smile. The Bible says, whatsoever your hand findeth to do, do with all your might. Now, and I'll conclude by saying that he didn't find me in the place of praying for the church. He didn't find me in the place of winning souls for Jesus. He didn't find me in the place of doing some things that is church related. He found me by the grace of God because of the business that I'm doing. My heart for the business, my passion for the business. And when he had a need for a counsel on a real estate related project, he said, my son, advise us. All the glory to God. It means that when he thinks real estate, he sees my face. So when they think about you, what comes to mind? If it is chin chin, you want them to know, please start frying it today. Life is too short to experiment with. You can't at this age be moving from one trade to another. You must face one. That's the truth. Okay, if at age 4, Tiger Woods, the famous golfer, his father started training him and started taking him out to learn golf at age 4. when he was age 12, he was already playing teenagers tournaments in America. At age 12, he was already playing a global tournament. So they understand from that part of the world the place of self-identification early in life. They lock a small child into a room and they throw all manner of balls and instruments or whatever you use for different sports. They throw it and they leave the child with it. And whichever tool or whatever the boy or the girl is going after, that means there's something of interest. And in that line, they start looking and grooming the child to become greats in that line. That's how they tend to try to discover what that child is wired for. So you don't have all the time you think you have. Now, when you have found your passion in a particular field or an industry, please pay more attention. Now you found real estate, pay attention. Because the truth is, I told some groups of people yesterday, I said, you know something? I said, no matter the industry where you find yourself, you will still need real estate. Why? Because you need shelter. Abraham Maslow's story talks about the basic needs. The ladder in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It starts with the basic need: food, clothes, and shelter. The moment you get to a point where you say shelter is no longer a need to you again, the problem has started. Because when you see somebody living on the streets, not as a result of him or her being ejected, you just say you just want to be living on the streets, then something is wrong. So shelter. So let there be protest for 1 year and they burn everywhere. As long as land still exists, you can never still go out of business. There will still need to rebuild again. Oil and gas. The oil can be set on fire. Everything may burn off. You can talk about all of the business that comes to mind. They can burn all the bikes and all the cars for logistics business. They can burn all the houses. But as long as land still exists, you are still in business. So, what am I saying? You have found the right fits. You have found the right business. No matter the age, everybody will still need you. Young, old, just coming from a transaction that kept me, a bit late. The grandmother who of every of the people, the mother came with the daughter, another daughter with a grandchild, all of them buying. You know, it's not, it doesn't discriminate about age. You can be in your 10s, 15s, or 20s. And when it comes to real estate, it's a need that you must. So when you talk about penetrating, what's happening, Mr. Dami? It's not connected. Let's use your system then. So just transfer from yours to.
Do you have like a flash cable? You know this one doesn't like transferring.
Yes, it's proud. I'm following you. I'm following you. So we just let me just freelance. Since I can, no time for that again. Okay, let me play it. Yeah, it's good. Thank you, sir. Let me just do it right away like this. It's you that is training me now. so it's in there. So let me come and rescue. Okay. come. The Bible says, and a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So he's not talking about cattle alone. He's not talking about lace alone. Even the lace that my fathers, before he died 31 years ago, that they wore. Yes, sir. Timba wore lace yedebi eni duro. If I enter this place with that lace, you won't stay. You are kilo se boy. If you see his Maori shoe, he died 31 years ago. If you see his Maori shoe, or guy, if I wear it, enter, you no go stay. Because you think that Shogun Layeni, like, are we fighting? So when the Bible talks about a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, it's not about the things that are, what do I call it now? Not liabilities. It's meant to be an asset. Simple definition of asset and liability. Simple. Asset is what gives you money. Liability is what takes money away from you. Simple. One gives, one takes. So if he left lace for me, he can't give me money. Lace cannot give me money. I can't use it to be renting. The shoe cannot give me money. I have to buy polish. Sir, for tourism. Put it in the museum. But if he left me a room, even if it is in Bariga, I will still rent it out. And when they call Association of Landlords, I'll come out. That's the truth. There were people who wore lace yesterday that can't afford silk today. Time and season happened to them all. Every battle that took place in the Word of God that we saw in the Bible days, they were fighting for land. Not for wives. Not for clothes. Not for shoes. It was property related. I sat down someday and I was doing some researches, and I saw that even from Bible days, God told Abraham, he said, I will give you a land as far as your eyes can see. Then that will I give to you and your children's children. So if all you can see is from here to Bariga, is yours. If all you can see is from here to Baga, is yours. If all you can see is the entire world, I'll give you. What can you see? Real estate, God takes it very, very special and takes it important. That's why in Psalm 24, it says, the earth is the Lord's, the land is for God, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that are in it. Everything belongs to God. So if you desire to do well in it, you must be connected to Him. He owns all. Every land. Now sit down somewhere and think, what was the world like before we started building houses on it? Flats. Everything flat. And God was giving them clan by clan, family by family, from this place to this place, it belongs to this family. From this place, you think God doesn't know what He's doing? Property business is till Jesus comes.
As long as there's earth.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As long as there's earth, you will continue to need it, except you want to live inside water. Should I shock you? Even on water, they are selling water.
Sure.
Aha. One day, I mean, we were on a transaction and we went to a place in Abraham Adesanya side. There are some private beaches around that side. And the owner of the land that we wanted to buy happened to be one of the people who owns a beachfront. So they told us to go and meet him in his office by the beachfront. He has an hotel around the place, but just by the beach. It's private beach. He bought from that side all the way down on top of the beach. Now you get him. You can't swim to that territory without your receipt. You must have paid. And it's bar beach. So even to water, if you want to, you can't misbehave anyhow. If you, let me shock you, if you get your ferry today and they give you a number and you put it on the water without registering, they will go after you and seize it. That from where are you coming from? Sir, as long as this water is, there are territorial commanders there. We own the water. There is Agbiru on water, in case you don't know. You pay them. There are government fees you pay if you must use ferry on water. So how much more land? So, it's one thing to be a real estate agent, another thing entirely to be continuously successful in it. All right. Now, what are those things that you can do that can make you penetrate into the real estate industry? Number one, you need to know why. W-H-Y. Why am I going into this business? Why? Why? Okay? You want to earn $1 million within 3 months? You want to earn $10 million within 3 months? Or I want to give value. Now, I tell people that out of about 7 currencies of the world, as stipulated by one of my revered mentors, out of about 7 different currencies of the world, money is the last, and that's number 7. Unfortunately, we've made it our number 1. And that's why many relationships fail. Because they need the money first. Or gawo first. They give you the money. When you finish spending it, nothing again. Money is 7. There are things that precedes money. They are number 1 to 6. One of it is one of the things I've mentioned now, which is relationship. You can use relationship to buy something in any market in the world. That's true. For instance, you own a store where they sell groceries, for instance. Probably at Ikeja City Mall. And I have a need to get some groceries. And they are going to about 100,000 naira. Now, it is true that we are friends. But unfortunately, I forgot my wallet or my card. And I can't pay you at that time. Coincidentally, or good enough for me, you were not. You were in the office when I came. And okay, we greeted each other. And I said, I want to take my leave. What were you doing here before? I came for shopping, but I forgot my wallet at home. The next thing is, your wallet. No, take what you want to take. You send us money later. Relationship. You have bought anything you wanted on the premise of relationship. I didn't need to put money, but the fact that we have a relationship. Another one is trust. If you have built trust over time, then your relationship will thrive. Trust. So there is no way you will go far in real estate if you are not trusted. You must be a man and a woman that has built trust. Integrity. Integrity. Letting your yes be yes and your no be no. Integrity. It's important that, you know what? In this estate, these are Mr. Dami mentioned it the other time when he was talking. He was talking about a lot of people, they can lie. Like, one day, you see? Somebody was marketing and say, sir, we'll give you personal CFO. Personal CFO. And the clients came to the office and said, excuse me, they said we'll give us one CFO each. Say, who says so? Say, this Abi? Say, personal CFO, okay. That's the person who said it. Say, Abi also Benny. Say, no, it's global CFO now. It's global. They will not give you deed of assignments. Say, sorry, I thought we'll give them personal CFO. It's not that the person didn't know, but she needed to tell that lie to collect that money. You don't build reputation that way. There's a need for integrity. You need to build it. So there are about 6 currencies before money comes last. So what am I saying in essence is this: you need to know why. So what should be in your mind is why am I going into this business? And your why answer should be to give value. To give value. What value do I want to give? You know, there's no way some people will buy property without informing me today. It's not a pride, but it's the value that I've been able to, by His grace, create over time. Like the man that Mr. Dami was talking about that, went to his house and they were talking about family, blah, 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 and all that, and so on and so forth. You know, there's a point where you get to with someone that when you have built relationship with them, you become their advisor. Not advisor. Advisor. Advisor is when you just run mouth and advise people. Advisor is people they pay for giving advice. So there's a difference. So I don't want to be a foolish advisor. I want to be an advisor, that I give you my invoice, and when I finish talking, you pay me. So you build it from nothing to something. You give value. Sir, I'm not saying that you must buy from me, but I can give you some advices at this point to tell you which one will give you peace of mind in the nearest future. And you do your analysis. But that means that you would have worked on yourself on getting the right product knowledge, not just for the product you are selling, but also for every other product that concerns real estate, all around where you are selling. So I tell my people, please don't limit your product knowledge acquisition to the product you are selling alone. Go and find out, why should I buy your product for 7 million when others are selling for 5 million? Why should I buy yours for 5 million when someone is selling for 1 million? Thank God, one day I finished a presentation somewhere in Maryland in US. And when I finished, I was about to start. They said, hey, so your own place where you are selling, how much do you call it? I said, 5 million. And the guy said, 5 million, okay. That's somebody had come from Nigeria also to do a presentation they're selling for 750,000. I said, 750. He said, hey, but it's the same area now. Why is your own 5 million and somebody is selling for 750? I smiled. I said, please, do you know the name of the village of where they are selling? He said, yes. I said, you are in US now. Let's put it on Google Maps. And it will take us to the place. And put the name of the village where I'm selling. Put it on Google Maps. Let's check it. So we put the two to test. Live. So he saw my own. He saw around the place in the middle of civilization. He saw the second one. It was going to Ondo State. It's not me that said so. They saw it on Google Maps. Around Okitikupa. Yes. Because there are some places that links Okitikupa from the Bejuleki axis. Yes. Yes. Baba Mama there. Yes. So by the time they did the whole thing, they said, we didn't know this one before. So I will tell you, don't just know about what you are selling alone. Understand other products. Why is your own the amount you are selling? And why is theirs cheaper? So why? Know your why. Why are you selling for that price? Why are you selling that location? Why are you selling for that company? Why not another place? Why not this? Why not that? So why are you selling for Gtext, for instance? You must know it. Why are you selling the location you are selling? You must know it. So these are questions you must ask. Why am I selling real estate in 2020? And what do I intend to achieve before going on Christmas break? There are questions you must answer. I set targets for myself. And in my diary, if I'm unable to achieve 70% of my task each day, I don't go home. See, if you take life too easy, life will ease you out. I say it again. If you take life too easy, you will soon be eased out of life. Don't take it easy, Oga. Don't take it easy. Because it is for the strong. It is for the fit. It is for those who are ready to make something good out of it. You remember how we all cried out of our mother when we were being born. At least I can't remember what happened when I was born, but I've seen how my wife gave birth by His grace. How we'll come out. That's to tell you that this life is for warfare, not for funfair. It's for warfare. If you don't want to fight, people are fighting you if you don't know. So it's for competition. There is a frame in one part of my office where we have two ram fighting, locking horns. And most times when I have a guest, I'll take them to that place and I'll say, can you tell me what this means? They say, they say, it's Ileya ram now. So tell me, what are those things that the artist was thinking when he was drawing it? It's a big frame. Fighting now. Maybe it's during Ileya time. Oga, you are lost. This is life. You may not see it, but somebody is locking horn with you. Life is for warfare, not for funfair. So the way we came out to the world is the first sign to tell us, Ogunlowajao, you have come to fight and you must win. Even if you choose not to cry, nurse will beat you. When we're much younger, I don't know whether it happens to some of you here. I mean, when our colleague beat us and you go home, my father will bring out cane and say, oh no, Wale, go and beat your own. Go back. It's not that go and you must win. In fact, he can follow you. Oh yeah, not here, brother. Beat your own and let's go. They understand the mystery about life. They don't give up easily. So you have not made your first sale, your first square meter sales. You must tell yourself, I must make it. Post-COVID, NSAS protest notwithstanding. I told someone this morning, I said, you know what? When I said that, I was telling him, I said, they almost deceived us this year with this COVID, blah, 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 and all that. They almost wasted this year. And the person said, they almost wasted this year. I mean, they wasted it. I said, they didn't waste my own because I will still achieve so much this year. He said, me too, in Jesus' name. I said, you just woke up. By the Spirit of God, I said it some times ago. I said, this is the only year that is not up to 12 months, but that people will do greater things than they've ever done before. It's not a prayer. It's a word of knowledge from God. It depends on how you see the year. It depends on how you approach the year. It depends on how fast you can run. Holding God tight. It will tell you where to go, how to go, who to talk to, who not to be with, so you don't waste your life. So, number 2, you want to make a mark in the real estate industry? Set your goals. Set your goals. What do you want to achieve this year? What are the goals that you have set? Irrespective of the number of months they've locked you down, they can lock you in, but they can't lock you out of life. A man called Paul and Silas, permit me, I'm bringing in Bible today, I don't know why, but I trust God for utterance. That a man called Paul and Silas, they both sat down. They were in chains. They were in chains in their hands and on their feet. They locked them down, but they couldn't lock them out. Because they were still singing praises to God, even though despite their situation. And God sent help to them. So they can lock you down, but they can't lock down your miracle. They can't lock you. Now, when you see a man who had been chained for some time and they release him, you see how they run. That's how many of us are running now. Notwithstanding what had happened, what seemed to have been lost in the course of a year, you will still overtake. You will still overtake. So set your goals and don't be carried away when you have set the goal. Don't be carried away. Let your eye be on it. Let me tell you something. I was told many years ago that when you see a small child, when we're much younger as men, you know how we as boys, We know how we used to wee. We can use, especially many of us that lived in where a place where we have people, plenty houses, plenty rooms. Lelero. And you want to wee in where there is sand. You wee around the place like this. You use your wee to play. All these small children again, they are not enjoying again. No. That's how we do sway with pants. You use tire to play on the road. This is not try here. Okada mag guy. There was no Okada there now. Life was good. There was no Okada there. It was Vespa. Vespa. Yes, sir. True. And you know, when you see that child wee around, using the wee to write O, it's a message. That is case study A. Look at another child or a man. Men likes to do this one. They just face one place. They just empty the thing. Out of his po. Now, when you see the two, you see that one made foam. The other one that they used to write O didn't make any foam. This is the law of focus. Because he focused on a point, he was able to bring foam out. When you face a thing and keep at it, you get results. Don't allow trivial things to take you out. Don't allow trivial things to waste your time. You can't be everywhere and you can't do every business. Face one. Let your name ring a bell in people's ear. When they mention your name, let them know this is what you do. Without you talking, they say, you are here on a real estate business. They say, yes. Yeah, the moment I heard your name, I think I've heard it before. Okay, do you think they will mention Stephen Akintayo or they will say they don't know you? No, no. He has built the brand. Work SM. They will say, okay, are you here for work SMS or land sales? But it started somewhere. It started with one thing and it's working today. Okay, number 3, define your KPIs, your key performance indicators. Define your KPIs. Define it. Key performance indicators. What are your KPIs? What are the things that when I've done it, I will know that I've achieved? If you set a target of 100 million to achieve this month that we just started by His grace. If you eat 90 million out of 100 million, you know that you have done 90%. That means in your KPI, it's clear enough that out of the 100% you want to do, you've done 90%. And that's a pass mark. Set your KPIs. If you say in one day, I want to be talking to 30 people as prospects per day, it's a KPI. So when you have spoken to 25, you know that this is a pass mark. So when you don't know what the limit is of what you want to achieve, you won't know the guide to follow to know whether you have achieved it. So it means that when you don't know where you are going, everywhere will look like it. If you don't have a goal, you are a goat. You just be running because there are no goalposts. So you must set a KPI that will make you know that this is where I'm going and I think I'm around the place. Next step, decide how you are going to find your clients. Decide how you are going to find your clients. There's a need for you to build relationships. I've told you the place of the 7 currencies of the world. And I said one of it is building relationships. Build relationships. Don't treat people anyhow. Don't trash contacts. Don't get to a place and feel like you are the one that brought all of them to the place. Talk to them. Talk to people. Discuss. You know, I was at an event some few days ago, and that's the birthday of Evangelist Tope Alabi, her 50th. And one of the people that came there, you know, she didn't look like it actually. You know, I think she was wearing an hijab. You know, you can't see her eyes. You can. So it's not. I don't prospect because I see what you are wearing. I prospect when I see that I'm led to meet with you. And I can be led to meet with 100 people. If I leave that place where I'm to meet 100 people and they are not complete, I won't go. You still see me moving around the place. We spoke, and in the course of the conversation, we just exchanged contacts. You know what happened? When she gave me a card, I saw that she's the wife of a renowned senator in Nigeria, in hijab. So build relationships. Build relationships. Don't look down on anybody. They can be in slippers, but they won't end up in slippers. At least for now. They are going through a phase, but that's not the end. Okay, so get listings. Get listings, that's the next step. These are things to do to penetrate. Get listings. That means you need to get leads. You need to get leads. Names, contacts, cards. Get listings, get leads. Who are the people that I've met who have a prospect of buying into my products? Write down their names, write down their phone number. I've told us before at one of the trainings that you now get different pen color, black, red, green. Aha. So when I see your lists, have you made the list, man? Have you started? Aha. You have too, sir. Aha. So you just bring out your pen. If you see red on it, no go area, time waster. If you see green, time to shoot. If you see black, don't deal. Don't deal. So when I just see your list, what I'm looking for is green, the green people. So how far? When do you want to go? Let's go there. So get your list. Now I have a list on my table. These are the list of my current clients from prospect. When I just think of your name, that I know you have prospect, I just write it down. From that day, you become a project in my hand. And the moment I've gotten to know that you are not interested, I just put red. And subsequently, you need to know. That's why when my friend is telling me, one of my friends is telling me that I need a PA that will handle some things for me, I'll say, PA does not know how I think. Yes, I have people who assist me in different areas. But sir, when I'm on my social media handle and I post something on real estate and you say, Ekusheo, you are in trouble. You have become a project. Ekusheo, how many do you want to buy is my response. How many are you buying? Say, I'm not ready now. When I'm ready, I'll let you know. I have a special place where I'll let you know when I'm ready. I'll be the one to remind you. Are you now ready? I'm actually thinking of, I'm expecting some money by September, by December ending. Write it there to contact you December ending. So I have people I've booked for different times. So get your list together and market the property. Market the property. Market the property. Under marketing the property, there is a need for you to know who are your targets. Who are the people you are targeting to market? There's a need for you to know. And the advertising method. You want to use LinkedIn? Just social media, or you want to use one-on-one, or you want to use CNN? That's TV, means. Yes. When I was with my Oga, let me tell you, I do newspaper adverts with my money. I do newspaper adverts. But ladies and gentlemen, Abamuti Shatong Spa. La Rota Librande Zizi. No, you must not see this number and not call. Because I know the amount I'm putting into it. So, and my phone is, if my phone does not ring on time, I'll use another phone to call it. So that the witches will not turn it to flight mode. And they say, they try the number, they switch off. Nibo! So, you market the property anyhow. If you need to go to, what's the name of this magazine? This Castle. Go and even do adverts in Castle. It may not be the first time that they will call you, but you are registering your presence gradually. Mouth can get there. them know what you are doing. A number of times, even I discovered that many people, their neighbor don't even know that they sell anything real estate. Why? Because they are not even good to their neighbors. Once you have made a Maggi logo flow, they ask you for Maggi, you can't give them. Ordinary salt, 10 naira, you can't even give. How would they buy from you? Akagiku. You know what? I remember sometimes when I was living in Nevada, and one of my neighbors came to me, they came to knock on my door. It was a 3-bedroom flat, so everybody mind your business. They came to knock on my door, they said, Pastor, I'm even tired of this area. I said, what happened? He said, I've never seen anybody fight on this street before. He said, you don't know you sweet, when you see people fight, he said, every right. I said, this man, he has stayed too long inside poverty. He said that we don't even have anybody around here coming to knock on another person's door that, please, do you have Maggi there? I said, you can come and knock on our door, we'll give you. I will never forget. So, start right with technology. Alright. Plan ahead for challenges. If I tell you there will be no challenges, then I lie to you. You are trying to sell, please prepare for challenges. Prepare for challenges. Prepare for challenges. Any question? Okay, sir. Sorry.
What needs is the best way to reach out to send your to seek for prospects? Is it the amount one-on-one talking about or technology, which is like Facebook ads, promotion, Instagram promotion, or like LinkedIn or something? But which one is more effective? Is it the one that was really from the experience I had in the little and from this trying to sell seniors and Sapphire, I realized it is easier for me to just push it out there. People quickly it's easier for me to get people talking about Sapphire or like White House something. Yeah, everybody like quickly sending me messages like online.
Yes.
But the seniors is like I have to start putting too much pressure on them. But which one is the best, most effective in regards to like marketing your products?
So because your target buyers are different, you will need a different approach. When you want to talk to a madman, you don't dress okay. You need to look like him for him to grant you audience. So when you are selling Jasper, it's different from the people who can buy a land of 12 million. They are in a different category of people who can buy a Sapphire of how much? 4 million. They are different category. The person who can pay 4 million is different from anybody who can do 10 is has left the bracket of the 4 million bracket. Now, how much is serious? 35 million. You see that it's another 4th generation. 1 to 10 is 1 generation, 11 to 20, second, 21 to 30, 3rd generation. So from 31 to 40 is another level. So you need a different approach. You need a different means of reaching them. Oftentimes, people who do that at 5 million, they are not on Facebook. They have faced their book. Yeah. They are not on Facebook. So where do you get people like that? Visit Lagos Country Club. Register in a co-club.
No, that's not 2 million naira.
I understand. But follow your uncle there one day. Yeah. Follow your uncle there one day. I mean, I have a lot of people.
Somebody said he wants to buy a car on Twitter. Now the car, I think it's roughly almost 2 million.
Yes, sir.
So the guy said, why buy this car? Why don't you go and register in, I think, Club or whatever.
Okay.
That's the kind of network you use. The guy said, we like to enter that place.
In the meantime, you can use Uber to enter. The Uber will still take you in. That's the truth. See, it's not easy, as we said, but in all honesty, until we get to that point where we're willing to pay premium for the next level, we have not started. That's the truth. I've often said it. One day I was training some of my younger colleagues in the office, and I told them, I said, do you know when to stop eating? Sometimes at home, you are not ready for the next level. Now, a number of times you can pack your family and go and eat dinner in a hotel or in a classy restaurant. It's not because you want to be used, but because you need somebody to pay for that bill. Who accidentally enters, or who you meet on set at the table eating, create a rapport with them and let them pay for your meal. Not to pay for what you are eating, but to buy what you are selling. So that man said, sir, to go and eat in yellow chili in GRN, for instance, to go and eat a plate of Adeniyi Adeyemi and fisherman soup for like 7K. Oh, go back on here. That's how he said it. That's the money for a pot of soup. I said, keep cooking your pot of soup. You will keep buying from yourself. That's true. But if you need somebody who will give you a factory where they make soup, you need to launch out. You will pay premium, but you will get more. I heard of a guy who went to take a loan in the bank after hearing what you are hearing today. He went to take a loan of $500,000 to join IBB golf course in Abuja. Within 2 months, he made the money back. You know one good thing about such people? They have a target. When all of you are looking at ball and what they used to play the golf, that's not his business. When they are taking loan and he knows he has to pay back, and he labored, never late. From the day he got there, he has never played one shot. He came there for something.
It was a mission.
Sir, that's why we need hungry people around, not people who are satisfied. I love hungry people. When I see someone who is hungry, you may not need interview to work with me, because I'm hungry myself. My driver was saying when we were coming here, he said, sir, that's selling shoe again. He said, I've never seen this time before. I said, you have not seen anything. Did you see in my slide where I said, look for other income before your deal comes? I said, but today, listen today, by His grace, I've made millions for the company before I came here. He went to help me deliver an Italian shoe to someone yesterday. The person has paid before he went to do the delivery. And I'm here to trade. Another thing will come in. And I have my people on site. They are doing one thing or the other. However small, something will come in too. So you can't survive around me as a lazy man. I told him, I said, you need to pay attention to learn even how to sell these products. That you can't just say that you put steering on and you are doing job. Which job are you doing? You are not doing anything. October Park, by the time I go in for my own meeting, go and prospect. From that, they started going out with flyers. Go and prospect. I said, see, salary means salary. Auto day, what is tough? Salary. Before the money enter, you have finished spending it. You can't survive on it. You need extra genuine income. That's why you are here. That's why GCP is here. So you can make extra for yourself. So, sir, if you need to go and register anywhere to sell that 5M, you don't see all the people on the streets. They have a place where they go to. You can go to an executive gym where they register. There's a gym around Ikeja that
It's not fitness.
I so such people, there are top shots there. Some executive, senior executive people, some C-suits executives go there to gym on Saturdays.
And you go to that symbol and have a drink.
Go to that symbol, they serve you Chapman with peanuts. That's with a pack. They call it peanuts. And they give you pay. My cat gets for yeah, my cat, they give you but you know something? You don't finish the drink on time. That's how mine you know. Somebody that looks at what you are looking for just enter. This will chill. I'll be drinking. It's your drink. Let me conclude this way. If you see the business class, okay, you have a question. You see a business class in Africa.
You mentioned
Yes.
something first that is
Okay, sir.
mentor.
Okay, the place of mentorship.
And what's it?
Mentorship and role models. Yes, sir. So there is a need for you to get mentors in the field and role models. People have gone ahead.
Where do we see them?
No, they're everywhere now. For instance, the MD of the company that you're selling for right now is a great mentor. But in most cases, you may not actually have a direct contact with them most times, but read their materials. There are things that are not captured in what they say when you watch them, but are in book captures. So if you are looking to see every mentor that you appreciate or you look up to, if you are looking to see them one-on-one before you can talk to them all the time, it doesn't work that way. Most cases, you may not be one-on-one, but when you have an opportunity, because for instance, okay, look at the schedule I've run today, for instance, before I got here. When I leave here, I'm going for another meeting, which I'm supposed to have joined since 11. Maybe they will drag part of the meeting till the time I'll join again. Now, okay, when do I want to answer phone call, actually? So I can return maybe from the following day, early in the morning or late in the night, I can return to an SMS. So it's not that they deliberately don't want to take calls or talk to people, but by the virtue of a number of things where they are in at the same time. You understand? So, but while you see them, just make it very brief. Anybody you appreciate their path, just talk to them briefly and continue with. And when you have a reason to probably send messages to people you reverse so much, make it just one message. For instance, you want to chat with them. Don't make disjointed messages. Hello, sir. How are you? How was your day? What did you eat today? I hope you are well. I want your business. Just one message, and let what you are talking about or you want to ask about, let be stated briefly. Don't let your message be a jam question for me to read. For instance, there are some people that the moment I open their message and I see the long epistle, and I'm finished reading the Bible. The epistle of Paul to the Corinthians. And if you are not writing for people, I'm sorry, I can't, sincerely, it will be boring because they have a short time span to go through other things because a lot of things are already on their mind. Before anybody, God can take them to that point of being a model, some sacrifices have been paid and they are still paying some others. So now don't become a jam to them. Just make it very simple and easy. If you adventure call and you talk, let it be very precise. I don't take privileges for granted. Oftentimes when people I look up to, when they call me, I allow them to do much of the talking. I only listen. And when they are done, I take every instruction they have given me and I carry it out. So, God will help us. With these few points of mine, I hope I've not been able to confuse you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Dabi. I hand over to you.
So, at this moment, do you have any questions for me, for him about GC?
Gtext Homes. We don't just sell properties.
We help you build your future.